Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. And it's the revenge of two slightly tipsy guys. Well, I say guys, one of us is a guy, the others are sort of, well, I'm a lich. But anyway.
And only one of us is tipsy. I'm drinking squash over here.
Yeah, oh, you're drinking squash, you're not one of the cool kids. Oh, shame on you.
Drinking's cool.
Excuse me. And staying hydrated is cool. I'm just
crayon. Can draw anything.
Still going on about that.
Horses, cows, rhinoceros, and plates and chips and fishes.
That's a safety.
Come on, kids, you all know the words.
You've had a week to research this. The notes were left with you in a brown paper envelope underneath your chairs in your homes.
Yeah,
at
no,
night.
I read it. He's a fox and he's collecting peaches.
Yep.
For his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's basically the game. I'm getting too drunk to care.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Hello, I'm Ben. Did we do that bit?
And this is Art Attack.
We're back in Crash Bandicoot 2, but I think you guessed that already because you probably read the episode title.
Yes, episode 2.
This time we talk about Star Trek Discovery.
I've seen that.
I've seen that as well. That's the first time we can both sit down and say, we've seen that show.
Yeah. So if you've not seen that show, maybe mute this and just watch the pictures if that's what you're into.
Yeah, I'll keep
I
dying.
guess.
Keep dying from that porcupine.
Yeah, don't walk into the little spiky man.
Hey, there we go. No, because this episode we're going to talk about Discovery stuff, more predominantly the entire series as a whole. And while I don't want to put people off from watching the show, I think, God, it's another one of those bloody, it's another one of these guys. I've got to find out how to turn those on. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It just looks like a texture that hasn't loaded.
Yeah, I thought that as well. I thought for the longest time it was part of the game had broken. But no, in all seriousness... Oh.
Gotta improve your wall hanging skills, bro.
Yeah, I gotta... Nathan Drake. Anyway.
We're mostly just going to be discussing the bit in Discovery where Saru eats blueberries.
And Burnham.
Really be focusing down hard on that one scene.
And Burnham. He ate Burnham at the end of the series finale, turns out. He ate Burnham.
Definitely
Hey, I
not the other way
survived.
around.
Yeah, definitely not. No, that was revenge. That was revenge. He heard what was happening, and, like, he was like, you know what, fuck this noise. Humans are delicious.
How are you skidding up the ice?
Because I'm a bandicoot, and it's a well-known fact that bandicoots can break physics.
Have you got motorized Heelys?
Yeah, this game actually predicted Heelys.
Did it?
Yeah,
I really want some Heelys.
You know, I think Heelys should come back.
I don't think they've gone anywhere. I think they became a thing when I wasn't a kid, and so I never had them. And then now kids just have them. You see, go to the Trafford Centre,
Jesus
and you see a lot of people in Heelys. Even though they come on the tannoy, the Trafford Centre is a big mall here in Manchester.
What, do the people with Heelys come on the tannoy and they're like, oh, fuck.
But the overlords of the Trafford Centre come on the tannoy and say stuff like, don't leave bags unattended and fucking stop using Heelys. It's not allowed. We won't have it, honest.
That is my favourite bit in Discovery. Where people come on, where Lorca comes onto the PA and says, "Can people stop fucking flying around?" Because I do love that bit with Stamets, you know, because he gets high on mushrooms for a while. He just like Heelys into main engineering, and he's just like, dude,
he can't stop.
Yeah, he can't stop.
It's just kind of passing through,
which is weird because there's like one door in that you'd be that would be conceivable
to heat into the forest.
Oh, he Heelys into the forest. Oh yeah, I forget.
To search for mycelium, if you know what I'm saying, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, he was looking for some good old mycelium, and then Saru's like, "But that's a marijuana plant. That is a weed plant, sir."
I was thinking more like magic mushrooms.
No, he's growing pot in there.
He's growing magic mushrooms.
No. Fine, he's growing mushrooms and he's growing the weed.
If I were into the drugs and I had a drug dealer, I'd save the drug dealer on my phone as my mycelial network.
Oh.
I'm gonna call up my mycelial network. We're gonna network. So you know, solid Discovery.
Solid Discovery.
conversation
Sorry,
going.
I just love how I just horribly killed myself there in like the stupidest way
Hemorrhage.
possible.
It's just bleeding.
Bleeding.
Those
No, but in all
tiny
seriousness,
apples.
I really enjoyed Discovery.
Oh yeah, me too.
I think I've got
There
a
you go. We've discussed it. Great. Moving on.
good. Moving on. So next episode. No. One thing I really wanted to say actually, I'll say this though. One thing I didn't like about Discovery. There was only one episode that really focused on a character other than Michael. And that was the
Yeah.
Saru episode. And I feel like
I thought
that's
you were going to say the mud episode.
the
but
mud.
okay.
I'd say the Mud episode does focus on Lorca. Crap. I remember
You
being.
did the same thing again.
I know.
You're right. You're right. I thought the direction you were going to take there was the only episode that wasn't like a drama that had an actual standard. Here's a Star Trek thing that isn't necessarily incredibly related to everything else going on. A standalone episode.
Well, no. More the point is that if Star Trek has always been about from TNG onwards, I would say that TOS really did focus more on Kirk than anyone else.
It was the Dream Team.
Yeah, it was the Dream
boys.
Team. It was the 3 boys. Them boys. But no, I mean, like, having an episode which focused more on other characters, I think the Saru episode is the only episode which really... There we go. Third time's the charm.
Well done.
There we go. I'm amazing. Which really focused on a character other than Michael, because even then, Michael is still involved in finding Lorca. There we go.
Look at those numbers go up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful number footage. Look at that.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, this is obvious to anyone who's seen any of Discovery. That they've gone away from the like episodic, hey everyone matters thing to this kind of now we're going to tell deeper stories about these characters and have them ongoing. And so we can't have as many characters because we can't be as deep with everyone, you guys.
Well, I mean, Deep Space Nine did it, but again, the series was of a longer format.
Yeah, that's true. It did. But yeah, there were more episodes in a series, and it didn't do it that much. It did right towards the end. Like, if you want to compare how Discovery does it to DS9, I would say that the last, what was it? The last 5 episodes of DS9 were kind of what Discovery is.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
the problem is...
it was like the end part 4, the end part 5. It was one big ongoing thing.
I think the problem is with the last few episodes of Deep Space Nine are not a good example of Deep Space Nine because they ran out of time and money to sort of do everything they wanted to do. And I think they had
it was awesome.
It was awesome. I mean, I think there were a lot of people who were uncomfortable with the ending, in so much as Cisco is just the guy who says, well, I got to go away for a while now, and then vanishes forever.
Yeah,
and
but he comes back in the Gamma mission box.
Yeah, but I would have liked him to have...
Son,
I would like
know.
to him to have come back in the movies. Like, a Deep Space Nine movie is something we
He
sorely
should have
needed.
been in the Nexus.
You know what? That would have been a really cool thing to do. Like, start...
Yeah, he could have been in his house on Bajor.
Yeah, I would... See, I have a personal theory that the mycelial network actually links into the Nexus.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because we see... What's-his-face? The good doctor. And he's... Obviously, this is after he's been killed. Spoilers. But of course, Ash, under sort of the
that
Vok
was weird.
mindset, kills him. And Culber is still sort of alive, and he says, I remember being alive. Ooh, I think this is a secret here. Is this a secret I can get onto?
Was that a real thing, or was that just in the guy's head? I couldn't figure that out.
See, he's in the mycelial network. He's in kind of a limbo space, but I honestly think...
So you're saying that wasn't just an imagination-y thing?
No, that wasn't just an imagination-y thing, but it recreates a dead person, and I think it is the Nexus, because the Nexus does that. It recreates either dead people, people who could have been, people who haven't been, and it is essentially like being inside happiness, which is where Culber found himself. He found himself happy there. So I think that he was slightly tapped... Oh, shit.
Oh, well.
Well, I died. But he was... I think he was...
Nexus.
I think he was slightly tapped into the Nexus. Controversial point, I know. Do you want to see some...
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree, really.
Oh, shit. Hang on, I'm about to do something really cool. Do you want to see a cool thing?
Go ahead.
make your day. I'm going to waste a lot of lives doing this, but it's going to be awesome.
You're gonna get your fox sweat if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, crap.
Are you trying to jump on that thing on the left?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what it does.
No, not the thing on the left, the thing on the right. But when it works, we're probably going to have to do a jump cut to when it does work.
If you were into cheating,
Fuck.
you'd just save your game here.
Yeah, I probably should, actually. Hey, look! Quick save.
Scuzzy save.
Oh! See, remember in the last episode we were talking about this whole,
No, this whole what? How hot is...
There we
this
go!
sister was? What? Oh, well done. And this is a secret route into another game.
This is the secret warp zone. Remember in the last episode I was talking about how there were hidden warp zones in other levels?
Yes, I
This is
remember that. And now you have to run around the room clockwise 7 times.
Basically. But this is an example of what I was talking about in a previous episode. In the previous episode is how I would have not known that if I'd played the game. Like straight out the box, in the 90s, there is no internet to tell me that is there. There is no achievement, and there is no sort of, way to go back and do that. So I wanted to point out, the 90s game development was bullshit.
That thing said level 14. How many levels are there?
Lots. But, do you recognise this level?
Yeah, I recognise this level. With those little sparky dudes.
Yep, we're back here.
Healing up the thing.
There we go. Hey, 69. We got 69 fruits.
Here's the thing I want to ask about Discovery, and I'm going to cough. I'm sorry.
Oh God, you monster! You're worse than fucking Hitler.
Haha.
You had to cough. You cough.
I know that it's a new show, and it's in some ways a soft reboot, but also it's not because they say it's canon and in the Prime universe and all that. So, okay, they've got this super cool spore drive, which I think is rad, by the way. I like it.
Yeah.
But obviously Kirk didn't have one of those. How are they going to solve that problem?
I think at the end there's a throwaway line.
Well done.
Fuck, that was some of the best.
Yeah, no, there's that bit where they say, oh, we're not going to use it for a while just because we feel like not using it anymore.
Well,
which was bullshit, by the way.
It was bullshit, yeah. It's kind of a BS excuse. But I think
it still existed.
It still existed.
And it was a huge, it would change the way everything everywhere works forever. And
well, we know.
You think that by Picard's time they'd have something.
Here's the thing, and here's an interesting kind of idea behind that. We know there were black badged Starfleet personnel, and now we know they're not typical security. I think there were Section 31 plants. I mean, this was a very, very high tech, secretive, sort of cool Starfleet vessel that was being developed.
Yeah.
Now, if Section 31 had a presence on that vessel, I think the first thing they would do is once that technology becomes viable, it stops being Starfleet's property and starts becoming Section 31's property, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I suppose they could always look at it and say, hey, if someone had one of these ships, they could destroy the entire universe. Maybe we should hide this.
I think, much like the Mirror Universe stuff, that got buried by Section 31. Because imagine if your enemies knew you had that kind of technology.
Alright, so, new question.
Okay, shit.
Which of the pads in Sloane's mind that Dr. Bashir held was entitled Spore Drive?
It's the third from the left on the above.
Do you think it was the one where he said, "Oh, that one will really interest you," and Bashir was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I think. You know what? I'm gonna say that's probably it. Because when you think about it, wouldn't it be better? I mean, okay, speaking from a purely pragmatic point of view of sort of like how Section 31 thinks, but wouldn't it be more interesting if Section 31 said, "Hey, we have this tech. Why don't we?" Shit. I'm getting too caught up in this fan theory. I'm dying a lot, but you guys are enjoying what we're talking about. So
they're only robot seals.
Yeah, but the idea behind it is maybe that Section 31 were like, okay, we're going to bury it under the idea that human eugenics is like the human, because they had to genetically engineer Stamets or Culber slightly, so he'd be able the engineer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fuck. I'm dying so much. I apologize. Khan. He had to be like genetically engineered slightly so he could use the drive. So the idea is Section 31 could use that as an excuse to say, well, no, that's why you're not allowed to use the drives because it's against our principles. And then they turn around and just say, no, we're going to keep it for ourselves. Because if people had that kind of technology and they could easily say, you know, oh, well, this is how you committed these acts of aggression, or, you know, the Federation is to be feared because they have this kind of technology, then you could say, you know, the Klingon Empire would, or the Romulans, or the Andorians would have every right to be feared. Romulans, Klingons, and Breen. Like,
what about this? Go
okay.
on.
So, you know, that was my theory, is like they basically bury it to stop it from being...
I have a new theory.
Okay.
All of that is true, and it explains how Sloane and other operatives that we don't see can seemingly be everywhere whenever is necessary.
That's actually a really good point.
They all have spore drives on their ships.
They could have spore drives on their
devices.
persons. Like, we know by the 23rd century... We know by 23rd century that you can have personal cloaks. Like little, they're like the size of a really small,
like a
pocket
it's
Jenga.
Like the Doctor's portable emitter, but for the spore drive.
Yeah, because I mean, like if
that's like those TARDISes that were built into Time Lords. That's a bit weird.
What was that from? Oh, oh, it now gives me an aku.
Wasn't there a Time Lord that had the TARDIS like built into their body or something?
I don't. That could have been from a book.
Maybe, or I might just be thinking about Frequently Asked Questions About Time Travel, a underrated movie.
Could be.
Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't. And we can all, as for time travel, I feel like I'm stuck in a time loop.
I know, right? I remember this bit.
All hands, this is the captain. Abandon ship.
Okay, so Frequently Asked Questions About Time Travel was very Douglas Adams-esque.
Oh, you got me. I do like a Douglas Adams-esque.
What's his name? Chris O'Dowd, the guy from the IT Crowd.
Oh yeah, he's now
he was in it. He was like the main character, and it was a sci-fi film about. I'm not going to spoil it more than I have to explain the premise.
Because we're spoiling Discovery instead.
It's a sci-fi film about a couple of lads in the pub one Friday night, and just having a night out, and one of the lads goes into the toilet.
And he time travels.
Comes out of the toilet again, and everyone in the pub has been slaughtered, and so on. And
oh wow!
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, it's a bit dark.
And then he goes back into the toilet and comes out again, and everything's fine again. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And there's a woman there, and she's like, "I'm from the future. Something's going on here." And anyway, it's this whole convoluted, time travel-y, fun, disturbing thing.
It's okay.
You should watch it. It's a good film. It's good.
You know what? I'll check that out.
And there's also someone in it that has a time travel machine built into their body, so maybe that's what I was thinking.
Maybe that's it. Although time travel, TARDIS is built into Time Lords, does sound like something from the sort of the Virgin New Adventures, sort of the lost era of Doctor Who. So it could genuinely be from that sort of crazy era, because they were doing all sorts of crap. So I don't put it past them. But yeah, hopefully we're going to beat this level soon, so we can escape this this level, because I feel like we spent a lot of time here. But yeah. What was I saying? Fuck, I don't remember.
Sorry, I rubbed the microphone.
This is going to be a bit of a weird
this episode is brought to you by...
being caught in a time loop.
By chocolate buns finished with glossy Belgian chocolate fondant.
Ooh, that sounds really nice. I can't have... oh, fucking hell. Did I ever mention the controls for this game? While this game is really good, the controls...
Yeah, how are you playing this? Are you using a controller?
I am using a controller. The controls for this game are absolutely bollocks.
What controller are you using?
I'm using an Xbox 360 controller because actually those are the most comfortable controllers ever designed.
You know,
it's mostly the
I would 100% agree with you until I started using the Xbox One.
Oh.
And I thought they can't go anywhere from here. The 360 controller is perfection.
That's why they use them in spaceships and stuff. Actually, drones.
Submarines, right? They use them on subs.
I don't know if that's true or not, if you're being facetious.
It is, I've seen them.
Okay, because they do use them on drones for like military reconnaissance ones, because they are like such a stupidly simple interface.
There was this piece of equipment that they had on subs. I saw this only recently, and they had to it was a bit of effort to train people to use this equipment. I think it was for like controlling the periscope or something.
There we go.
Like the electronic periscope. I don't know. Anyway,
Down
instead of going
periscope.
through a bunch of training to figure it out, they started using.
Oh!
That's unfortunate. They started using Xbox controllers, and people were able to figure out the controls in about 3 minutes. So they just say, you know what? And the crazy thing was to hear the submarine guys talking about how it was great because, like, if it breaks down, you know, we can go into any shop anywhere in the world, and there's an Xbox controller there that we can just buy and hook up.
Yeah,
you know?
that makes
They
sense.
sell them everywhere. But yeah, the Xbox One controller is better. It feels a bit better. It's lighter. And also, like, it's got a much better D-pad. The D-pad in the 360 controller was trash.
Really?
Yeah, it was not
I
great.
should stop using it then.
However...
No, I'm not
Xbox
using it
One-
now, don't worry. I will say this though, the ice controls and the main complaint, and I've lots of other people have complained about this for the Crash games, is that the ice physics and the jumping physics are absolute hell.
Maybe they're realistic. You don't know. When was the last time you were on ice?
I live in Scotland, dude.
As a fox. I want to live in Scotland.
Right, should we
what's
just
happening now?
shall I just go to the warp room and skip this secret level, or do you want to be trapped in this time loop forever with me?
Is it harder because it's a secret level?
It is harder because it's a secret level. I'm not shit at this game, honest. I've completed this game.
No, you're really good. I'd be awful. This sometimes I forget I'm watching you play it. and I
Maybe
always think
maybe this is like
a
what's that
speed run.
film? What's that film where the guy gets caught in a time loop so many times that he's now perfectly like memorized the sequence of events, so he can just like
Well.
skip through everything? Because that's what I feel like it's going to be by the end
I
of this.
mean, you've got Groundhog Day, obviously.
Yeah, but it's more of an action film, I think, where the guy's like he keeps dying.
There's a film that you might be thinking of, maybe not though, with Nicolas Cage, where he can see into the future a few moments, so he's able to see all possibilities and pick the right one. So like, if someone fires a bullet at him, he dies like 1,000,000 times over, and then picks the one where he doesn't die and he dodges in just the right way.
Okay, that's
And
pretty
makes
cool.
that reality, and he uses it to like gamble because he's a dick or whatever. But then the terrorists and the government are like, we know that you can do this, and we've let you be because you're a bit of a dick. But now we need you because the terrorists have a nuke
The
or
terrorists
whatever.
win.
And then like he can look into the future, but only so far. But he manages to look like 12 hours into the future or whatever, and he sees the nuke go off in New York or whatever the fuck.
You know what?
And
Oh, resume. Ah, crap.
they have to use him to. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
It's not the best film ever, as you could say. You could say that about a lot of Nicolas Cage movies, but it's a cool concept, and I like it.
It is a cool concept, actually. I will give it
And
that.
that
Sounds
wasn't
like
the
a
film you were thinking about, was
nope,
it?
it wasn't.
Damn.
Sounds like a Michael Crichton novel, though.
I wasn't kidding when I said I was eating this bun. It's creamy.
Oh, I miss dairy.
Dairy misses you.
We miss each other.
I
It's-
went to the
dairy farm.
Wensleydale Creamery recently, where they make Wensleydale.
Look,
in
I
Yorkshire.
don't want to think how long we've been stuck on this one goddamn level, but at any point, do you want to just quit and move on to something else?
Yeah, an entirely different game. Super Mario.
You know what?
Ha-ha!
Done.
Straight down the hole.
Warp room.
Oh. Fair enough. Fair enough. This is our speed run.
Because look where we go. Okay, so the reveal is that if I complete that, I get the red gem. You see up there is the red gem?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I go upstairs, that was the other warp room. That was the cool thing about that level.
Do you unlock stuff up here based on gems? What?
No. Basically, remember
Okay.
that one
I'm with you
platform took me to that level
Uh-huh,
below.
uh-huh.
See what I mean about other levels
Yeah.
unlocking paths in other levels? Some levels unlocking levels below that will allow you to get secrets. But let's
Would you
play the actual
conflate
game.
these levels to the levels of hell?
I would actually. I
thought
would
as much.
really. Thank God I have alcohol to keep me company during this, and you. Because
We'll always have Paris.
we'll always have parrots. That was a weird
Yeah.
episode of TNG.
Yeah. Yeah. So Discovery. We said we were going to discuss.
Yeah, we're
that.
going to talk about Discovery.
I mean, Saru really likes blueberries.
He really does.
You know?
I gotta
And
say,
he offered some to Burnham. I wonder
Burnham.
when the last time she had blueberries was. Oh, didn't she say something about that?
she had them in
Oh,
the
she
camp.
said she had them in prison, but they
In
weren't
prison.
the same.
They weren't the same because they were replicated blueberries. Those were real blueberries.
They were freedom berries.
They weren't freedom berries. They weren't Federation freedom berries. No, one thing I like about that corridor sequence is just the fact that Saru is eating food. Aside from scenes where people are given food to sit down and eat, like, isn't it kind of nice that you see someone walking through a corridor and doing a very, for lack of a better term, a human thing to do, which is to when you're between
a very standard kind of like, just like this is a thing that people at work do. I know people at work who do that.
Yeah, like I
It's
also
like I'm half. Sorry, go on.
I also kind of like the idea that it's blueberries, which is not everyone eats a big bowl full of blueberries. I do at my desk at work. I sometimes buy myself a big punnet of blueberries and I'll sit there snacking on them when I need to be healthy. I'll trick myself into
some in the
thinking.
kitchen.
Oh, it's good.
Lovely.
It's good. It's good. You
I
can
made
chow down
blueberry
on.
mead once. That was nice.
Ooh, I'm thinking about making my own beer. That'd be nice. But
Yeah.
getting off point.
Give it a go.
It's
Try mead first because it's technically wine. It's easier to make.
Ooh. But where was I? Excuse me, I'm belching a lot because I've had a very.
The humanity of Saru eating blueberries.
It's a very weird but cool thing.
There you go. That's how you do that.
Boom.
That's how you fill those blocks in.
Yep. See.
Yeah, it is cool. It is strange.
It is strange. I think the fact that he's eating blueberries just like out of a big bowl, and the way he picks them up is like wonderfully alien and quite quaint. And it's it is a testament to how good Doug Jones is at his job.
You ever watched him walk anywhere when he's not carrying something? You ever noticed his arms?
His arms are really long. You really notice them as Saru.
Yeah, but have you ever noticed what he does with them? He like waves them behind himself.
Yeah. He has this sort of weird gait that I quite like. I'll do this one more time, and then I'll probably not do this bonus level because it's a brick hard one if I remember correctly. But no, I love that these little pieces. I remember there's a very funny anecdote about how they noticed that Doug Jones is not very well endowed in his posterior, which is something he always jokes about.
He's an alien.
He's an alien.
Aliens
Well, no,
don't need
Doug
a
Jones.
big ass.
Doug Jones. Yeah, but the costume department were like, "Shall we give him an ass?" They were jokingly saying, "Should we give?"
What do the focus groups say? You know,
What
I
do the
think you have to bounce more than once to get some bounce up. on that.
No, it's
Am I right?
probably, but let's not bother. We're gonna get bogged down with silly.
Asses. Well, you brought that one on yourself.
Yeah, I brought that one on myself. That was hubris. Hubris.
Cerebrus. Yeah, why build an art? Like, check the focus groups. Arse, yay or nay?
Oh
You
no!
think they built a test
Oh,
arse
fuck.
and showed it to people? Made him.
I keep dying horribly in this game.
wear
We just
his
watched
test
someone
arse.
drown. Isn't that kind of dark?
No, it was a fox.
Oh yeah, according to Theresa May, according to our glorious leader, they don't have emotions or
Yeah.
feelings, so we can kill them all we like.
No, it's fine. Yeah, they're like lobsters. They only feel pain.
When you put after you take them out the boat, they only feel pain when you don't eat them and wear them as delicious clothing. So yeah, we're fine.
I have a question. So they were like on the way to the bridge, right?
Yeah.
That was the day when like
Oh no, it was
she
engineering.
started a job or whatever.
It was engineering, but yeah.
Engineering. What did he do with that bowl?
He's probably got like a little thing on his desk.
He has a desk.
Yeah, his terminal which he stands. Well, he's got his own little. Where does he work on the bridge?
Yeah, he just kind of stands at a thing to the right of the captain. And in engineering, I know they have little terminals. I don't think Stamets is the kind of guy that allows food at your desk.
Yeah, he's probably like one of those really annoying bosses who doesn't like that.
If you're a boss, fuck you.
Yeah, screw you.
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. You guys pay us, so we have to be nice. We have to kiss your ass.
And yet most of them kind of don't. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing, isn't it? You know, a lot of managers have very little say in a lot of the things that we actually care about as employees.
That's very true.
Managers want their
There we
employees to
go.
be happy and productive. If the employee is not happy, they
Oh.
won't be productive.
That's basically a Kobayashi Maru. You can't be both happy and productive unless it's something you really
Yeah.
like doing. But for the most of us, our jobs are terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope no one at my work finds this video.
Great. Now I have a mission. I'm gonna have to send them a copy on an old VHS, unmarked VHS tape.
In a black plastic bag. What's funny is in the last episode I was really doing quite well, and in the test episode I was doing amazingly.
You did really well.
You know what's
What
happened?
if I put the VHS like inside a really big lump of just like raw red meat and then mailed it to
I
them?
am so glad you said inside red meat and not a person, because you know that was my next
Well,
guess.
it's hard to get people. What about some delicious
People.
Sarus? What's Saru species called?
Kelpians.
Oh yeah, man, I bet they do taste good. I mean, I'm not saying let's eat Kelpians, although there were no Kelpians after Discovery, so I bet someone like she came back from the Mirror Universe and told everyone that they were delicious.
Yeah, and then like you know the
Now they're
episode,
extinct.
you know the episode Trouble with Tribbles, and Kirk's like, this is meant to be my Monte Cristo sandwich and coffee. That was a Monte Cristo made of Kelpians.
But I do love seafood, and I bet he'd be tasty.
Okay, so I will say this: I like the design of the Klingons.
Of the what? Sorry.
The Klingons in Discovery. Hey.
Yeah, they look fine.
Also, I'm
Yeah.
riding a bear.
Huh.
That
Yeah,
is something
tell
you
it that
shouldn't
killed its
say.
brother.
You shouldn't say that out loud, because that actually, yeah. Riding a bear probably has some connotations. Anyway,
Are you riding the bear bareback?
technically, Crash is not wearing a shirt, so yes.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what that means. Yeah, oh, yeah. Foxy, what the fuck are killer whales doing in a tiny pond? I bet it interconnects underneath.
Yeah, it's like a rabbit warren.
It's like
Killer
the
whales.
mycelial network.
Yep, mycelial network for whales. Do you think I can recoup my winning streak here and actually, oh,
Yeah, clearly.
come on, the game had me though. Like there was no way I could have made that jump. There
You're
you
not good
There
enough.
we go.
You're not pro enough. Get good.
Get good. I gotta use the force. I'm like, I've gotta use the force because only humans. Fuck.
Turn off your targeting, polar bear.
Yeah, I've got to turn off.
Your underwear just. Did your lungs just land on the top
No,
of the
no,
polar bear?
that was the.
lungs, right?
No, that was his underwear.
It
Oh,
looked like his
God.
lungs.
I like how this polar bear is indestructible and smiles and
I
barks.
like how you're frozen and the polar bear rides on your frozen corpse.
Well, it's a polar bear. Polar bears live out here.
yeah, I mean, yeah, polar bears are cool. Polar bears will kill the fuck out of you. They don't care.
Oh, come on, I was
You know
not
where
in
I'm
the-
gonna go? There's a place.
Oh,
it's
country roads.
An island up above. It's kind of. It's above all Norway and all those places. I'm not super great at geography. I apologise, but it's up there, right? And it's way further north than any other place.
Oh, I missed that one
basically,
box. Missed the one box. I missed the one
Unless
box.
you want to go
I
unless
missed
you want to go to
one box.
the serious place.
Yeah.
Svalbard is where you want to go, because you can just get a plane there.
Oh, I missed two boxes.
and
That's
it's,
fine.
it's basically the furthest, because at the north, what do you call it? At the
It's up north.
you've got the Arctic. Yes, the Arctic, so the Antarctic, for those who don't know, has land down at the bottom of the planet, because in space there's an up and a down.
Is there really?
No, but the Antarctic in the south, the southern
Anti-Arctic.
hemisphere, has land.
Hmm.
But the Arctic in the northern hemisphere has ice.
Huh.
People think it's got land up there, but it's just ice. There's no land. So the furthest north you can go, as far as I'm aware, on real actual solid
Another
land,
boulder. Another boulder.
is Svalbard.
Huh.
And you can get a plane there, and it's quite affordable. And I really want to go, because you can go there, you can get tours of glaciers and stuff, and it's all gorgeous snowy mountains and, well, just, I don't know, picture
Screw
all
you,
that
boulder.
cool rad shit.
That does sound cool.
But the point I was going to make, and the reason I thought of it in the first place, besides the fact that I really want to go, is they have signs up everywhere saying like, don't leave, don't go anywhere without a gun
Yeah, because polar bears.
because of polar bears.
Yeah, they will mess you up, son.
Yeah. So you kind of can't go anywhere outside.
Okay, how do I
without
manage this
someone
jump?
Who, I think you have to slide into it, maybe, or just do that.
Fuck
Do
yeah.
what you just did. Well done.
We're discovering all the secrets this episode, aren't we?
Yeah, my secret wish to go to Svalbard.
Oh,
And because like no one lives there unless they're scientists, basically.
Yeah,
there's like
it's
a reasonable population, but it's all science people.
it's like all
and
those
tourists.
Federation outposts. So I'm trying to bring it back to
So-
Star Trek.
Oh, so you go there. It's just, are you a scientist or are you just here to see the sights?
What about a sightseeing
Oh.
scientist? Are you being discriminatory?
That's Picard on his day off when he's
Fuck. Same
when
bloody...
he's going to look at the antiques. When he's going antiquing.
You kind of forget
that
Picard
lady
is an
who
archaeologist.
weirdly
He's like a history
Yeah,
buff, isn't he?
right. Why was that woman attracted to him? He's old. No offense, Patrick.
What? He's like 70 in the series, isn't he?
I don't know. He's definitely older than she was. What was her name?
Luxwana.
Vash?
Vash? Yeah.
No, not
Oh.
her. I'm talking about
Fuck.
the archaeologist lady.
Probably because he has lots of Federation assets.
Yeah.
She's after
Like
his...
Saru.
Yeah. Ha ha. Ha ha.
So they
That's close.
decided on no ass.
Ass. Yeah, that's a
end.
very funny story. I don't know where I was going to go with that. But no, I really like the work gone into Doug Jones. Because it shows an evolution of the technology behind making character prosthetics. Because, like, remember in Star Trek, it took them, like, you know, it was a huge bit of their budget to go, right, we're going to make a character with a funny face this week. And the best result
Yeah.
was the Kazon. And they were like, okay, we screwed up.
I thought you were going to talk about like Spock's ears being made in someone's garage.
I don't know how they made Spock's ears. I'm assuming they made...
them in a. They made them in a garage.
Did they?
I just don't remember whose.
Oh. Savak's ears.
I know he hated them. Remember how he hated them?
Leonard Nimoy hated the ears.
They were really uncomfortable. Like the glue that they used was painful.
Oh.
He really, really did not like them.
Oh, damn it. Well, I can imagine, because back then in the 60s, it probably was radioactive.
Yeah. That's why he had green blood.
Now, that's actually a thing about Star Trek's The Restoration, I noticed. Like, I think it's the HD versions and some of the DVD conversions have changed the colour tone slightly of the characters to try and make them look more
Yes.
modern. So actually...
As someone...
Oop.
Go on.
Bugger. I died. But people have pointed out that they changed the the colours of the looks for the characters, meaning that Kirk doesn't look ruddy, apparently. Like, Kirk was meant to have a bit of a reddish face and sort of a roguish look to him. And Spock was genuinely meant to have like a more green hue to his face. Which was obviously, if you watch the
Aliens
HD...
are green.
Yeah, aliens are green. But if you watch the more modern DVD versions, obviously, the HD versions, they kind of get rid of that because obviously they've touched up the colouring, and so they don't have that sort of look to them, which is a little bit sad. But
I as someone who wants to watch old stuff the way it was originally viewed, I've gone into this a little bit, like with the Star Wars stuff mostly.
The
With original
despecialized
Star Wars
editions.
film. Yes, the despecialized editions of Star Wars. And one of the big things that they changed is the color tone. Because when you put them side by side, the skin, people's skin in those films, in the whatever kind of crappy digital automated process they put those films through,
Oh, I died again.
they come out kind of more magenta, you know, kind of weird purple. You don't notice it as easily when you're watching the film because everything's kind of tinted weird. When you compare the still frame with the original, how it should look, with people having skin that looks like goddamn skin, you realize how awful and purple everything looked.
This is actually...
And it's
this-
crazy. And it's because like people get paid to HDify this show for us, and they do, but they don't have the money to go through and carefully do everything correctly.
Oh,
and look up original models.
Oh,
and,
look at that.
and-
Sorry, I missed the last 2 boxes out there. Can we just... I can't get those last 2 boxes. One of them was I needed to belly flop
All
on
right,
it.
start again.
Nope. But,
Yeah, like, so sometimes if you have money, they will go back and they will look at production photographs and they will get original models and so on.
I like they do
But
with...
most of the time they don't bother and they just pull some software up
Mm.
and let it do it itself, and it does not come out well.
See, I noticed that actually when I compared 2 side-by-side videos of... Well, I didn't do it personally, but I was watching a breakdown of scenes in The Phantom
Mhm.
Menace between the the version that has CG Yoda and the version that doesn't. And, excuse me, I'm about to belch horribly.
Great.
There we go. I belched horribly. Oh, look, a scutter. Whee! I love these levels. These are really cool levels, actually.
That fan was very forgiving.
That was a very forgiving fan. They get worse later on, I think. But, yeah, like, in the original sort of 90s cut, the theatrical version with Puppet Yoda, before they replaced him, the game has this really... The movie has this really weird lavender hue to it.
Yeah, there
Like,
you go.
Like, it
Kind of
has
what
this...
I'm talking about.
Yeah, it has this really weird... Like, all the scenes in the background, and then when they come to the 2000 cut, it's gone. And it's like, what is up with that?
Yeah, but they managed to still break a bunch of crap in that film.
Oh, yeah. They replaced... I always preferred Puppet Yoda. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like CGI Yoda that much. Puppet Yoda looks way better.
He does look weird in that film, though.
It-
But whatever.
Yeah. It's weird because I would have thought... it was still Frank Oz, but it's weird that the technology had improved between those 2 films, and yet somehow he wasn't looking as good, which is a shame. Shall we go do another bonus level really badly? Yeah, we will.
Go for it.
Go for it. This episode's probably going to be really long, but we've been rambling and we've been talking. The thing is, I don't want to cut out the stuff we've been talking about for Discovery because that was all in the time looped episode. We'll call that the time loop because that's what it was.
I'd hate you in a bloody warehouse.
Sorry?
I'd hate you in a warehouse.
I don't know what that phrase means, but okay.
It means you're destroying all the boxes.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was like some sort of...
Someone packaged these and made them float. And you're ruining everything.
That was a really easy bonus level. I feel slightly,
Oh, why, is that the exit?
Yeah.
They gotta throw you a bone occasionally, right?
Yeah, they got to throw me. I love the set design. Look at all those pipes and everything. Doesn't that look really nice, even for a PlayStation 1 game?
Yeah, I keep thinking like I'm gonna run into Sonic.
Like, I do love this game for its really
a
nice
good
level
way.
design. Like, look at this. It's like branching pathways. And okay, the field of vision, the textures aren't nice, but I am looking forward to getting my hands on the sort of the remake of these. Because these games,
there a remake?
there is a remake on the PlayStation 4, and they're very nice.
In that little room we were in, I was appreciating how just now when you saw the little bit of water at the bottom of the pipe.
And it was just dripping down.
No, like if you go back.
Oh, hang on, I'll just smash this.
It's like you're in a sewer and it's just at the bottom.
Oh yeah,
there, see?
yeah.
It's kind of a little bit of pooling water.
Oh damn! I need to go back anyway
Well
because I
done.
think there's a secret passageway.
It's always a secret passageway.
Nope, and I died. I like
Well
how
done.
miffed he looks when he just floats up. Boom.
I had something to say about those specialized editions.
There we
No,
go.
don't remember.
I went the wrong way.
Oh, if you are interested in seeing a HDification of something that is beloved, that was done awfully, like really badly, you want to look at the Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff.
Oh, really?
They not only so they made it widescreen and HD, okay, and
Oh,
they brought
crap.
it out as like, okay, look, we've gone back to the original film and we've made it HD and widescreen and stuff, and we've cleaned it up and blah blah blah.
Oh, you mean the? Oh, I don't need to grab that. Okay.
I mean the HD release of Buffy.
Sorry. I thought you meant the TV series, not the movie.
Yes, no, the TV series.
Oh crap!
Yes. the
Right, they
TV
went
series.
back and redid the entire TV series. That's so
Yeah.
stupid.
Well, it would be great because Like they did well, actually, I didn't look too heavy into how well they did it, but Friends, there's a really good, in my mind, it looks really good, a HD widescreen version of Friends now that you can watch.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
And yes, and if done well, if they're like true to the source material and they're just going back and pulling the film again. What are you doing? Climbing on a thing, eating gapples. Like, if you can do it well and you're just getting the source material and make it look damn good, then sure, yeah. And if it works in widescreen, that's fine. But with the Buffy one, it's again a case of using automation and not going back and. There are whole scenes.
Oh damn!
I'm so angry.
Yeah, because I keep dying.
So they took the original footage and they made it widescreen, which is great. And occasionally you'll see people off shot where they shouldn't be visible reading their lines from a piece of paper, or you'll see a cameraman or something.
Okay, Obi, then.
Which is kind of sort of
okay. Explain to me, how do they take something that was recorded on a video format that is by nature square and then turn it to widescreen?
It wasn't. It was recorded in a widescreen format, but only edited together in 4:3 for TV.
Right.
But
okay.
they had the high quality. They had the widescreen, like high quality film reel footage, but they never edited it together in that way.
You'd have thought then
it was only being edited for TV.
You'd have thought then, with the technology we have today, where we can mask people out, that they would have taken the extra time to just airbrush out a person.
Yes, they could have done that.
It doesn't take much.
Assuming they even spotted it, because they were going through a lot of footage, and that's
to be fair,
not so bad, right? I can sort of accept that now and then. Like, oh, that's a boom mic, and hey, I can see this other guy who shouldn't even be.
Oh,
like,
we got a message from the big giant head.
All right, fine. What is it, head?
I'm running low on power, so communication from this point will be difficult.
Thank God.
His hair moves when he talks. It's kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It emotes.
It emotes. It displays his emotion. I think he just keeps calling you to tell you he's low on power, so he shouldn't talk.
All right. So, by the way, there's a lot of what I'm saying here is in a great YouTube video that I don't remember the name of. But if you just look up like how they ruined Buffy with the HD remake, you'll find it.
Oh yeah. So, people like to complain on the internet.
Do you remember the Master in Buffy? He was a vampire. He was
I am
like
usually
the big
referred
bad guy
to
for
as the
season.
Master. It's Roger Delgado.
No, that's Doctor Who.
Okay.
But you've seen Buffy, right?
Yes, I have seen it years ago.
Anyway, all right.
We're gonna go fight another boss, but you talk. I don't know who the next boss is.
He hadn't been released from his evil prison or whatever, but he was literally there in the corner of a scene in the widescreen edition because I mean he shouldn't have been in the shot, but weird stuff like that. But I can accept that. Whatever, fine. He's reading his lines. I don't know. But they did things where they didn't take the color of a scene into account. So they had the original unedited footage. And there were scenes like where Buffy is supposed to be going to bed at night. And originally they had filmed it during the day and then used,
day for night
VFX stuff to make it nighttime.
Yeah.
But in the HD remake, they just left it daytime, so it looks like Buffy's going to bed at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's like this really emotional scene where she's looking off into a sunset, and it's about losing her love and
obviously the
sun's going down and shit. And instead of it being a sunset, it's just like the daytime.
Oh no! Come on, guys.
And there was an episode. Basically, there's a lot of times, especially in Buffy, which is a little cartoony. There's a lot of times where they use color to as an important part of building the scene, right?
Yeah.
Like if something's kind of spooky, they might give it a little bit of a dark blue glow or whatever. And this was all done in post, obviously, and a lot of the time it was completely ignored, and they just left the original footage in there, or gave it an entirely different tint that wasn't the original intent of the people that made it. It's just a mess.
It's just a mess. You know what also is a mess?
They edit some things differently, and it's just don't watch it that way.
No, it's terrible. You know what else is terrible? I completed the next warp room. We're burning
Well
through this
done.
game.
You just told us that you didn't have energy. This better be important.
I think the game's assuming that it would take longer to defeat those bosses.
Many crystals to obtain. Remember, the world is counting on you.
He's lying.
He's really being a big, gross liar. I'm gonna make a quick save.
He's obviously lying.
Quick save.
And also, he just said he didn't have the energy to...
Yeah, I know. It's
like, hello again.
Hello. I love these warp rooms. I can't wait to get hold of the... I know I said I couldn't wait to get hold of the HD remake to see what this looks like. But you gotta say, these people were only being mildly outstripped by, you know, the technology at the time to make what they absolutely loved. But shall we end it there today?
Sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, we've ranted about games.
I mean,
I've been caught in a
we've
time loop.
discussed Discovery a lot.
Yeah. Well, we've discussed TV, I suppose. We did discuss a little bit.
Yes.
I ranted about the Spore Drive. You ranted about Buffy. I think we had a good time.
Oh, HD remakes of things, man.
Meh. We might talk about that in the next episode.
Star Wars despecialized stuff.
Yeah, go look up that. And campaign for an HD remake of Deep Space Nine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like a good one.
A good one.
Like a good one, please. Not
You know
like a
why?
Buffy.
You know why? So they can finally fix the problem with the Defiant in the series finale in the last few episodes, because the Defiant gets destroyed the end of series 6.
Yeah, they renamed the Valiant or whatever.
No, the Sao Paulo, because the Valiant gets destroyed as well.
Oh, yeah,
But-
that was the one with the
but
kids.
They didn't change the designation, because after an NX class, if an NX class is deemed successful and then retired, the subsequent lines will be, of course, they will be the NCC. But for the finale, and for the rest, well, basically for the rest of the series after the Sao Paulo was renamed, the NX the NX prefix wasn't taken off of the model, because they didn't have the money and the time to edit the model of the Defiant, the CG model,
Huh.
to put NCC on it. They didn't have time to do
Huh.
that, when you consider the amount of time it would take to render out a new model. Also, fun fact, those 2 black patches on the bottom of Voyager you see in the opening title sequence,
Oh, that was the render gone bad, right?
that was the render gone bad.
Yeah, man, I've seen Junk Ball Media.
Yeah, we've all seen Junkball Media. I completely forgot.
Y'all should look up Junk Ball Media if
Yeah,
you like weird Star
Go
Trek facts.
go look up Junkball Media. He's actually really good.
Yeah, don't be so surprised. There's something good on YouTube, you
It's
guys.
like good on YouTube. When the fuck did that happen? Well, ever since we
I know
came
it's
along.
Shocking.
Ever since we came along, yeah, there's finally good stuff on YouTube. Okay, this has been Andrew of King Moran Productions. I have been Ben.
And that other guy is Ben.
Yeah, we're doing this. I'm a little bit drunk, but we're fine. You guys, stay safe, stay beautiful, stay awesome, and I'll see you next time.
And I'm going away forever. Goodbye.